watch. Wake up. You got fire to watch.
This is Pacho. Do you read me?
Be advised, you are coming in weak and unreadable.
Say again, Com Tower. This is Pacho. Do you read me? Over.
Pacho, this is Con Tower. I read you Lima Charlie.
Com Tower. Request permission to launch and commence the field op. Over.
Stand by. Pacho, permission granted. Say again, permission granted.
Roger that. Launching podcast in 3, 2. You are now entering the field op with your host, Pacho Correa, Chief Warrant Officer 3, United States Marine Corps retired. Get some. Hurrah!
Get some. Hurrah! What's going on, everybody? Another week is almost over. Friday night's Eve is upon us. God damn, it's almost the weekend. Oh, shit, I forgot to say. Or Friday night's Eve, as I also like to call it. But goddamn, it's almost the weekend. Man, see, look, I got all twisted up. And I even messed up my own intro. Hey, this is live, baby. So we roll with the punches. Hey, we're getting an awesome show today. We're going to have a real heart-to-heart talk with not only with myself, but maybe I'm also having a heart-to-heart talk with you. But let's get all the pleasantries out of the way. Hey, look, this show is brought to you by Primerica. Do you have an action plan for whether short-term, long-term, or mid-term type of goals where you want to be financially? If the answer is no, then I highly suggest you give the folks at Primerica a call. Just set up a 30-minute Zoom with them. They'll get you all tuned in. They'll give you some really cool information because at the end of the day, look, while 401ks are a good benefit that companies offer and you should highly participate in with them, you also want to set yourself where you have control over your own money with somebody that's going to guide you and get you where you want to be financially. So it's all also on the show description. Give the folks at Primerica a call. At the end of the day, you get some good info, no commitments, no BS, no nothing. And I mean, what's the worst they can do? That you learn something, and what's the best thing that can happen? That you get to where you want to be financially. So also the show is brought to you by the VA. So here's an awesome message from Mike Richmond.
This message is from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Did you serve in the military? If so, you can obtain a free lifetime pass to more than 2,000 federal recreation sites. These sites are located across more than 400 million acres of public lands, including national parks, wildlife refuges, and forests. The lands host activities to fit any lifestyle: hiking, biking, fishing, camping, and much more. Gold Star families are also eligible for these free lifetime passes. Plus, they cover entrance fees for a driver and all passengers in a car, or up to 3 additional adults at sites that charge per person. Obtaining one is easy. Just go to the National Park Service website, nps.gov, or the National Park Service app.
Hey, you got to take advantage of your VA benefits. And as I keep saying in every show, if you don't have a claim going, by all means, please, I highly encourage that you get that stuff going, because the longer you wait, right after, as you get away from further and further from the flagpole, in other words, from whatever branch you were joining, a couple of years go by. I mean, it's going to be more not that it can't be done, but it'll be more difficult to establish that claim. And for you to be able to back it up. Why do I say that? Because then the VA is going to come back and say, well, it might not be service connected, blah blah blah. So time is of the essence. So get that stuff going. If you need some help or assistance, or you got questions, by all means, throw your comments on the show. You can send us a Facebook message. You can make a comment on YouTube or any of the other streaming platforms, and we'll try to get you plugged in with somebody that can get you where you need to be. So take advantage of that. Also, this show is also brought to you by the Great American Constitution. Hurrah, get some. This show wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the right, the one, freedom of speech. I mean, that's what it's all about. So if you like what you hear, like, subscribe, and follow. Pass me around, tell your friends all about it. And if not, perhaps check something out from sitchradio.com, because they're the folks that push the buttons in the back end and they make shit happen. It's the bottom line. So shout out to Brian Colburn and the team. And last but not least, hey, the right to bear arms, it's all that good stuff. So it's all about, whether we agree or disagree. We just got to communicate with one another. So, with that being said, let's kick off this show. So, as you've heard me say this in the past, is that sometimes these shows tend to write themselves. So today I had a medical appointment, and the doc told me, and as my mom would say, is that she was saying in Spanish, saying la vejez no viene sola. Age doesn't come by itself. In other words, as we get older, things kind of start falling wayside. So obviously, I had my every 6 month checkup with the VA, by the way. So the doc told me, is like, hey, some of your in your blood work, some numbers didn't jive too well. And I said, well, I think it's kind of hereditary, because my mom has the same issue. I've had high cholesterol. My numbers have always been out of the whatever the tolerance numbers are for many years. I've been most of you know who follow the show. I've been a vegetarian since 2018. I try to PT as much as I can, eat right, and all that good stuff. We pretty much don't have. We're not junk fanatics. I will say that fucking sweets, that's my jam. I mean, that's my kryptonite. But not that I, overly indulge. And obviously, with the shit that I've had going on with my knee over the since last year, because the cumulative trauma on it. Nonetheless, I'm giving you a bullshit ass excuse. So I've been procrastinating, which is basically the theme of the show. And again, just because I'm behind the microphone doesn't mean that I'm not impervious to, being my own worst enemy at times. And just like you, I mean, ask yourself the question: how many times have you put something off? That whether it may be, starting out a project, starting out investing, starting out better futures, health-wise, exercise, lose weight, a new career, whatever the case may be. How many times did you say, hey, I'll start, I think I'll start tomorrow. Oh, no, today's too late. I'll start tomorrow. I'll start next week. I'll start next month, and then time catches up, just starts going and going and going. And before you know it, and you didn't do anything. That's the bottom line. You keep putting it off. So when is it going to be the right time? When is it going to be? When are you going to do something about it? You can complain about it, like a lot of us like to do, which is fine. Bitching about something and complaining about something is fine. So as long as we're moving in the right direction. There was a saying that, excuse me, I used to say, a lot of us Marines, and I'm sure every soldier in the other service say it, but he used to say, hey, Marine is not happy if he's not bitching, right? If he's not complaining. Now, again, you can complain about it and, make your way towards that target, that goal. But if you complain about it, but you don't move forward towards it, is anything really going to change? Case in point, again, I got to throw myself on. So as I'm sharing this information with you folks, I'm talking to me because, I'm sitting behind this computer screen, but I'm watching myself right there too. So it's kind of a good thing because I'm looking at the man in the mirror, so to speak. Shout out to Michael Jackson, #RIP. But I got to talk, I got to talk to the self. So case in point, yeah, last year, I might have had other issues as far as, with my joints and whatever. But in 2022, I mean, I got down to my high school weight of 174, and I wasn't really PTing. I was walking a lot and doing other things, curtailing my eating habits, whatever have you. And I still got down that weight, but slowly we tend to fall back into old habits. And before you know it, I'm 10 pounds. I'm actually a little bit more than that from my target goal. And yes, I've been working out a lot in the sense lifting weights and doing other things. But as much as we say, hey, fat weighs more, I mean, muscle weighs more than fat. At the end of the day, I've also overindulged in a little Haagen-Dazs caramel sundae every once in a while. So the blame is all on this dude right here. And when I talked today with my health practitioner at the VA, she was like, "Hey, I know you can say hereditary and blah blah. However, I am concerned about these numbers." When she said that, I was like, "Fuck," you know. It goes, "Hey, I know we just did a couple of other things and everything came out. You don't have any calcium deposit in your veins and blah blah blah. However, long term, and I deal with this industry and cumulative trauma. Is that really sustainable? I know we all got to die of something, but I don't want to, I don't want to put that shit on, on full speed ahead, so to speak. So, bottom line is I got shit to, I got work to do. So what are you going to do to make stuff happen? What is it? What plan are you going to put together? And, I could probably see Brian Colburn right now, looking at his computer screen and probably listening to me and saying, "That's what I've been telling this freaking jarhead to do this whole time." But I do have other projects that I said I was going to do during the year, and I have made steps ahead. I will say that it's just the steps could be a little bit bigger, is the bottom line. So today as I'm moving forward, next week I'll be taking an exam to be able to do a little bit more. As you all know, yes, Primerica does help with the podcast, and I am a representative for them. Not that this show is about that. I'm just saying that I'm making, I got some targets and things that I want to do in this industry moving forward, so I could, get to where I want to be financially and help others at the same time. Nonetheless, I got to get my shit together in other projects that I got pending. Other projects that you as the as the followers of this show will also benefit from them, because I do, I have another channel that although I've made some videos, and I'm not really happy with the quality of the videos. I am going to move forward on those things, as well as some other things that I want to let it be a surprise when we launch some of these things off. Nonetheless, the time is now. It can't be tomorrow. It can't be next week. It can't be, you know what I'm saying? So I am going to start moving forward and putting my plans together to basically get my stuff together. Because, procrastination is, it can be really easy for us to get on that mode. I've earned. I say this a lot, and when we're treating ourselves to a little treat, it's okay. You've earned it. But when you've over earned that shit, when you really haven't really worked for it, that's where we fall back into old patterns. You're more than 10 pounds, and now you've stacked on 10 pounds, and you don't feel as sexy as you used to, so to speak. And among other things, the quality of the things that you want to put out to your audience, or the quality of your lifestyle that you've been trying to change, and I'm talking to you now, or other things that you want to do are not there. So we can't really be complaining about it, but not really doing crap about it. Does that make sense, everybody? So we have to be accountable, is the bottom line. As much as you want to, you can blame other things or other situations and or the environment. At the end of the day, is you got to look in the mirror and point back right back. Right here it is. Nobody's going to change your situation. Nobody else is going to do anything for you. Nobody else is going to come rescue you. It's all about you. You're the one who's you gotta rescue yourself. You gotta learn not to depend on others, because while spouses may be there and they may provide you the support, they can only support you so much and kick you in the ass so much to make you move forward, or your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your whatever. At the end of the day, it's all about the self. So you have to be accountable and go get after it. I think that one speech, and I think it was, what was that one, in the Rocky movie, where Sylvester Stallone is talking to his son in that movie. They're both, I think they're both leaving the restaurant, and Stallone is telling his kid, hey, if you want to go get your worth, then go get it, but know how much you're worth. And this kind of will lead to next week's show, so to speak. But nobody else is going to come and rescue you. And the more you put things off, the more you blame others. At the end of the day, you're the one who's going to end up basically looking back at your life and saying, okay, well, shit, what did I accomplish? Did I do all the things that I wanted to do? Because one thing, the worst thing, the worst thing that out of fear and anything else, for me and for a lot of people, is fucking regret. If you don't believe me, go talk to somebody, an elderly person, and ask them. Now if they've lived a full life and they're content and they say, no, I made it count, and that's fine. Or they may say, no, I wish I would have ... And you can fill in the blanks. I mean, they can go, I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have done. I would have loved harder. I wish I would have, I would have given my time to those loved ones. I wish I would have started these projects. I wish I would have accomplished this. I wish I would have done that. I wish. Or like people say, woulda, shoulda, coulda, So what are you going to do today to hold yourself accountable, to get where you want to be? If you got big plans, big projects, then move forward. I think Richard Branson once posted something on LinkedIn, and it really resonated with me. Is hey, if an opportunity presents itself where you're going to be much better off, but you know very little about it, hey, take it and then figure the fuck out. Figure it out and figure it out quick is the thing, and make it happen. You got to do your due diligence, folks. You just can't sit on the sidelines and wait for life and for stuff to drop in your lap, or for you to lose weight, for you to start that next project, that next that next app that can revolutionize whatever, find love, whatever the case may be. It's all up to you, and you can do it. The only person in the world that can stop you is you. At the end of the day, what I mean by that, well, no, because if you listen to others, you still got a choice. You still got a choice to say, hey, you know what? Screw it. I don't care what what this person says, my girlfriend, my boyfriend, my wife, my husband, my mom, my father, my kids, whatever. You can choose to listen to them, but we always have a choice. We always have a choice, and we just got to make it happen. You got to make it happen. Because at the end of the day, when you look back at your life, and I heard this from a fellow chief warrant officer, who the guy, I have my opinions about the dude. However, this is one of the times where he said something that to me it resonated. At the end of the day, look, when you look back at your life and go look at a tombstone and one of your public cemeteries. You have when they were born and when they died, and in between, what's in between? It's a little dash. So are you going to and that's how they roll your entire life is summed up in that little dash. Are you going to make that little dash count? Have you made that dash count? We only get one shot at life. I mean, there's no fucking do-overs. That's it. It's take one. Pacho's life, take one. There's no, oh, hey, cut, let's do it again. There's none of that stuff. It's keep going at it. So I owe it to myself, and and maybe I owe it to my family to some degree. I owe it to them to advance, excel, still be, keep being a lifelong learner, keep moving one foot forward in the right direction. Excuse me. Are there going to be stumbles? yes, there have been stumbles. Fuck, in 2018, I walked away from a real nasty divorce, and I left with nothing. I mean, pretty much. And I'm just using that as an example. I'm not putting myself on a soapbox or anything. And I promised myself, hey, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do this all over again, and I'm gonna do it that much better. And I have. I found somebody that we have a great relationship, that we appreciate each other. Uh, we were able to build back in our financials, and we're still growing at it. Uh, so, and I've been able to help my mom to some degree. So the point is that you can do things all over again, despite the challenges that life is going to throw at you. Because if life were easy and everything came perfect and all those things, then it wouldn't be life. I think life would be kind of boring. And regardless of what environment and where you're at, your current present situation, you can always do something about it. I'm 100% believer of that, because I'm an immigrant myself. I mean, we came here with nothing. I mean, pretty much almost the clothes on my back. I mean, my mom, I'm using my mom, my mom as an example, but my mom pretty much, she cleaned houses. She, at one point we owned a laundromat. I mean, or a dry cleaners. I mean, she's done a lot of things, and she hustled. And even to this day, even though she, I do help her out, I mean, she's still out there and grinding, and I picked up a lot on that. So I can't, I wish I could say that, and I'm talking to this young generation nowadays. I wish I could say that, I've been prejudiced, I felt racial or prejudice upon, and blah blah blah. But to me, when I hear stuff like that, you don't want to say stuff like that around me, because at the end of the day, I've had a lot of opportunities in this country, and has it been easy? No, but shit, it's not supposed to be easy. And even people who are rich, I mean, they got there where they got to be, whether it was their family or whatever. But if you think a rich person doesn't have any challenges or anything like that, I highly recommend that you listen to the Happiness Lab podcast. I think it's episode 3, where it talks about the things and challenges that people with money face. Yeah, they face challenges when it comes to money, but nonetheless, everybody's story is different, and everybody has challenges in their own way, in their shape and form. But you just can't keep putting shit off to do it one day, do it another, or whatever the case may be, because nobody, as I mentioned earlier, nobody else is coming. Nobody else is going to do what you do it for you, so nobody else is going to start that business for you. So you can still be at your regular 9 to 5 type of job and making somebody else rich, or you can go start your own business and take a risk for once, or you can go back and get that degree that you've been meaning to do. It's I did it while I was in the military. It wasn't easy. I sacrificed a lot of nights spending time with my kids, whatever, but I didn't want to look bad in front of them. And it took me it took me a while to get my bachelor's, but I did it. And then I went for my master's, because I wanted for my kids to see that example and say, hey, how come you didn't get your degree? So you got to lead from the front, not from the rear. And you cannot sit on the sidelines and watch the parade go by, and you wish you were on it, when you could be out there too, basically with your baton and the rest of the band right behind you, and you're leading that shit. So what's it going to be? Is it going to be today, or is it going to be tomorrow? Is it going to be next week, or is it going to be next month, next year, or never? And you just, maybe next time, maybe next time, maybe next time. So think about that shit for a while, and then tally up the score and hold yourself accountable. Don't make excuses, but hold yourself accountable. And then once you get your homework for this weekend is make a list of all the things that you wanted to do and that you never got around to doing it. And then look yourself in the mirror, apologize to yourself, and say, hey, from here on out, it's all about you, buddy. We're gonna get our shit together. We're gonna make shit happen. And then tell yourself you love yourself, and then move forward. Put that list somewhere where you can see it. Like right here, if you read, I have a little whiteboard that I write things over here, and this is how I hold myself accountable. So, and basically, it says stop being a bitch, and stop being a bitch and wasting time. Get to it. So when I find myself, procrastinating and doing dumb shit, this is our little office right in here in our studio. When I find myself doing dumb shit, and I just look up and I'm like, oh damn it, I'm wasting. I'm being a little bitch. And I just say that, that's my motivation. You can tell yourself whatever, but it's like, damn, I'm wasting time. So I put the phone down and I get right back to it. It's in my kitchen too. I have a vision board, and I think I've shared that with you. Well, I've added some more things on that vision board, and basically all I'm doing is just keeping myself in check and holding myself accountable. That's the bottom line. And you have to do that, because as much as I do tell my wife, hey, if you see me wasting time, just put me back on track. I mean, she can do that, but I could just say, hey, you know what, stop it, cut it out, whatever. I mean, she can say like, okay, fine, whatever. See what I'm saying? So it's up to you. So from here on out, we're gonna hold ourselves accountable, and maybe I'll write it down on my little board here for another show. Is hey, we tally up the scores and see where we're at a few months from now, and then have we made any steps? One thing that I would recommend, and here's just a little pitch for Brian Colburn. Brian Colburn has an amazing club that I highly recommend that you join. If you have some really big target things that you want to accomplish, like writing a book, doing a podcast, or whatever the case may be, I highly recommend that you join his group. There is a membership that comes with it. However, it will keep you, again, hold you accountable, and then you get to meet some other great people about it. You know what? Hey, Brian, if you're in the studio, if you're listening to the studio right now, if you want to pop in and talk about the accountables just for a little bit, for some people that want to talk about it, please feel free to pop in. If you're on the back end, there you go.
I am, brother. Hey, first off, I appreciate this. I wasn't expecting it. I didn't do my hair. I hope it's okay. When I first started my business in a legitimate fashion, where I signed a lease and had office to pay for, I was looking for a group of peers, people in a similar situation to myself, to help bounce issues off of. I'm experiencing this, and somebody else could go, I did experience that. This is how I handled it. But to give me information on a path forward that's worked for somebody else. And I started looking around for groups like that, and basically I couldn't afford them. The cheapest one I found was like $1,200 a month. And it was it was unobtainable for me at the time. And this was 7 years ago, 7 months ago, I put on my vision board accountabilities group. And about, a year and a half ago, I started building this out, and we've been up and running strong for about a year now. And it is a membership site, but what that gives you is access to a few different cohorts. It's mainly around content creators. However, several people in it are business owners themselves, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, and you can get a lot of business lessons in it as well. Weekly Zoom meetings. We hold each other accountable. We share and discuss goals, problems, issues, and we really take the time to bounce things off of each other, to learn from each other, peer-to-peer mentoring, if you will. And it's been an awesome opportunity to learn from others. And the cool thing is, collectively, we really haven't come up across a roadblock yet, other than you need a lawyer, other than you should probably go see a CPA, because nobody in the group at this point is. However, we help each other out. We ask of each other every week. And they're minimal. It's not like you're going to spend 5 hours helping somebody in the group. However, we do give of ourselves for the betterment of the group. So Pacho, I really appreciate you inviting me into your show and talking about the Accountables. You can find it at accountables.network.
Awesome. Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it. As I was talking about, I'm like, wait a minute. I got the expert right here. Those people like, so I mean, thanks so much. Hey, thanks, brother. Appreciate it. So right then and there, I mean, go to the Accountables. I mean, it's a great website. Brian has been a great mentor. Not only is he a fellow Marine and a great mentor, he's also a friend. I mean, the dude has got, you know, good ideas that you can bounce off. Hey, how does this sound? And so you can use other as a sounding board. So the bottom line is that you're not alone, and you shouldn't be alone. So surround yourselves with not only people like Brian and within this network, but with others that are going to help you get where you need to be. Because again, at the end of the day, is you want to look back at your life and like, fuck, you know what? I did do this. I wasn't good at it. However, I tried it, and you know, I made it happen for a little bit, but it wasn't for me. I realized. So it's better to realize that, hey, this is not for me after you've done it a couple of times, maybe once. But again, there's no regrets, like like that one movie with the dude with the tattoos. So, you know, think about that. Do your homework this weekend, and then apologize to yourself and make yourself those good promises, and put them on a vision board and hold yourself accountable. And if you want some more help and assistance, by all means, check out Brian. You know, the Accountables at Brian. You can check out Brian. Look up Brian Colburn, or go to situator.com, and you can hit him up, and he gets you all plugged in. All right. So with that being said, everybody, I think this is a good point to index this bad boy over here. So I will say this: if you've been getting to a dark place because you've been procrastinating and you're getting all depressed, and among other things, reach out to the show, reach out to us, reach out to the VA, reach out to Military One Source, TRICARE, the suicide hotline, because while all these other challenges are all fine and dandy, and it's in the name of veterans and whatever, it's not going to bring your life back. So it's better to suck it up, make it through this crappy time frame. You know, have a friend to lean on. And if you haven't heard from a friend and you haven't checked up on a buddy, your homework also is to do a buddy check this weekend. So with that being said, everybody, we're going to index Ice Tomas, Daisuki. We'll see you next week, everybody. Yat! Hoorah, get some.